Today's Sunshine Note is titled, Get Your Own Clothes. Then Saul dressed David in his own tunic. He put a coat of armor on him and a bronze helmet on his head. David fastened on his sword over the tunic and tried walking around because he was not used to it. I cannot go in these, he said to Saul, so he took them off. 1 Samuel 17:38 and 39. I tried to steal an entire sermon one time. The sermon began its life as a chapter in a Max Lucado book, and I took every piece of it, even his personal stories, and used it as my own, not just for a preaching class, but before an actual congregation of 300 people. It was not pretty. Not only had most of them already read the popular book the sermon was lifted from, they didn't have a hard time figuring out that I wasn't even old enough to have experienced all those mission stories from Africa. But it wasn't that I was trying to steal. It was that I was trying to be great. At the time, I didn't realize I had my own armor, words and stories of my own that were actually pretty powerful. I thought I had to use somebody else's armor to be great. Luckily for Israel, the young shepherd David didn't make the same mistake. When he showed up in front of King Saul and asked permission to fight Goliath, Saul was so desperate for victory that he let David go. But first he dressed him in his kingly armor. David put on the cumbersome suit, tried walking around a bit, and right off he knew it wasn't going to work. It wasn't his armor, it was someone else's. David knew that we all fight best in our own armor. So he shook off the fancy gear and, slingshot in hand, challenged and defeated the giant. I don't know who you're trying to be or be like. I don't know the people you want to look like and sound like and imitate. But I bet there are several in your life. I bet there are a lot of people's armor you'd rather wear around than your own. And I bet there are many days you'd so much rather be anyone other than yourself. But that kind of thinking is a mistake. You were made exactly the way you are for a reason. And the best way to face life is just like that, in your very own armor, in your very own skin, trying to be none other than yourself. Take a moment today and ask God to help you learn to trust that He has made you enough, just as you are. May God bless you today.